Hello everyone and welcome to another filler episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Plus Mod. I am, as always, Tirak, your host, and we are playing the Turkey Shoot mission from Skirmish. Basically, we are a carrier who has been caught out by Klingon forces, and we must try and get out of here as fast as possible with as many of our units as possible. We have in our direct control a destroyer and an escort cruiser, and we have a couple of frigates out here protecting us for 3 Auchinleck, 372 Kartos, and the Pontiac over there. We're going to be running into several frigates and fighters, and it's going to be ugly. It's going to get nasty real quick, and our maximum speed is 12. Anything more out of that, and, well, we don't go any quicker. So there's no point in putting more power into that. The goal is survival, and that's just what we intend to do. I think we can do it. After all, we are a carrier of sorts. So let's see what we have to work with. Target ECCM. We have all kinds of power just to burn. So we're going to set out our combat air patrol, launching a pair of fighters to defend our friends, and one to defend us. And because there's really no reason not to have the full fighter squadron out, I don't think anyway, we're going to put everybody into the air. Going to start prepping a scatter pack now, because that might be able to help us put a lot of firepower downrange. We got to follow this arrow to get on out of the map as fast as we can. And they're blasting away at our fighter squadrons. So one's already taken some damage, but that's fine because it's absorbing hits that we didn't want to take ourselves. So we'll click on him, bring him back. Real quick process. If you're looking at the shuttle bay, and you select a fighter group, it'll start flashing, so that tells you which one it is. And we've lost one of our fighter groups. Not wonderful. But our escort's doing a lot of firepower damage out back there. How's our fighter groups doing? Not great. So we're going to tell you to return, because I'm hearing you getting chewed up pretty badly. In fact, I don't think we're even going to be able to get you back in time, are we? Firing our weapons. Blasting back there. Unfortunately, we can't make use of our heavy photon torpedoes, or not heavy, regular photon torpedoes. They are forward firing, and it makes no sense to turn away. The better score you get is going to depend on how many of your escorts you manage to get home, so we do kind of want to take some pressure off of them as soon as we can. Got a scatter pack ready, so we're going to dump that on him. Hopefully discourage his pursuit, although I don't really think it will. But our main weapon... Don't drop on my fighters, jerk. Come back, return to me. And another set of missiles. That decoy should eat those, but hopefully the decoy will deactivate in time for the other ones to come up. Firing our normal phasers as best we can to try and soften up the enemy groups. And how are we doing on speed? They're maintaining a speed with me. I'm going to slow down just a little bit. He punched out a weasel, but that is going to leave him hanging out behind. I'm not happy about that. We want to keep the group in as tight as we can. Set up fighter 1, prep another scatter pack, and pop a couple of missiles on him. Gatling phasers doing their heavy work, and we're almost in a position where I want to launch fighters at him, and we're going to go for it. Jump these guys out the back, hope they can deal some damage to the Death Sword. The other ships that are not part of our squadron don't matter to our score. At least I don't think they do. So it doesn't really matter if they get blown up, so I would much rather that the enemy focus on them than us. Yeah, that ship is almost dead. I'm going to recall the fighter group just as soon as they get in there. Come on, just do one run and then come back on me. Fire. Fire torpedoes. And they're not. Come on. What kind of fighters are these? It's actually a pretty good question. You are Hawk Chase. Oh, whoops. These are space superiority fighters, not actual like vultures that we normally use. So that's not great. We got the FDE lagging behind a bit. I'm going to kill a little bit of power so that we can get him to catch up. We don't have enough for a another scatter pack, so we're really getting low on missiles. We are at 4 missiles, so this shot and the next shot, and that'll be it. How far are we away from getting the heck out of here? Still a ways. This is going to take a while. things are not good, and it's not like we can just increase speed and go as quick as we possibly can. Come on, catch up. I need you at a range of about, hopefully 2, so that we can pool our defensive resources. The frigate's way off there, getting stuck into it. Not doing fantastically well anymore. Kartos is mostly a wreck at this point. Yeah. And Auchinleck is still trying to keep up. He's still going after those fighters. What can I do to support? Nothing much, really. Fighters have a natural defensive shift because they are small targets, difficult to hit, which makes it difficult to attack them at long range. No. Okay, we're going to speed back up since there's no possible way that we can bring his wreckage back to life. Focus on you guys. Fighter squadron. Attack. And launch. And yeah, I'm going to spend an entire package to go after him. Hopefully it'll work. I'm not entirely sure if it will, though. Fighters do, of course, have a ton of point defense systems, so it makes them fighting a little bit difficult. Oh, we got the squadron. Nice. It did cost a scatter pack to do so, but hey, we killed it. And our fighter squadron was also destroyed at the same time, so not wonderful. Pop 4 more missiles on these guys. And they pop missiles as well, but the fighter missiles are weaker. Come on, kill him. I don't have any phasers. One of my point defense systems is online, and we got another fighter squadron. At this point, we are out of fighter squadrons. We can't proceed at a speed of any higher than what we're at. So we're going to put all reinforcement to the rear. There's no point in turning to fight these guys. I do believe they come infinitely. Our job is to get out of here, but we are finally in sight of what's coming. So we're going to pop another set of missiles on these fencers. That will be the last of our missiles. Nothing left. They were only Type 1s, so they were only doing 12 damage per hit rather than 24 that they normally did, but we had twice as many of them, so equate that however you want. They took them all out. Not wonderful. And what else can we do? Oh, we still have a fighter squadron. He came back to us. So I want to order... It's a Hawk squadron, probably. I have no idea because it doesn't tell me when they're in here. And I didn't buy them. I just did the normal one. You can actually customize this mission with specific ships that you want in your squadron and what you want to fly, but I chose not to. Just did the straight-up normal one that happens because I figured that would be more fair. I've never actually completed this mission and gotten all the escorts out. Normally the escorts get killed along the way because, well, a lot of fighters come along the way. Although, we are looking okay. I mean, our escort cruiser is still here. He is getting hit pretty badly by the fighters. Do you really want to carry him with us? I mean, is that something you really want to do? I'm not happy about that choice, actually, man. You shouldn't be doing that. Gatling phasers were able to hit one of the squadrons, so it's just this fighter squadron left and this F5. These guys might get in the range of us, though. Yeah, they're closing in. Another group of Klingon fencers. I don't have much to throw at you. Okay, so you, squadron fighters, launch to attack. And our point defense system has come online. Fighters, every time they come back at full health, which is really good. We'll look at the fencers, and I want you to harass these fencers. They'll play at longer range, work with their phasers mostly. And I will go to transporter, and transport a mine out there, and a mine out there, and a mine out there. I'm trying to build a mine wall between us and the enemy, because we are getting pretty close, and I don't normally use transporters anyway. Transporters are... we've used them all. It did delay the attack by a little while. Our Hawks still in the fight. Still rushing around to help out. We are getting close to the map edge. Things are about to get ugly, though. We got one group of fencers down. Can we get the other one? Fired all our phasers on that one. Still hasn't killed him yet, but he is down to 2 ships. How is our fighter squadron doing? I want you to attack these guys. Actually, no, I want you to attack these guys, and we will maintain our strike on this guy. Hey, photon torpedoes came in handy because he got in front of us. Still able to lay into him. We have no weapons available at this moment, but we are hoping they charge up pretty soon. And I have the phaser Gatling still available, so we've fought off the fighter pursuit. Let's see if we can't end this guy. The Storm Song. Oh, really ripping into him there. Zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, we're getting close to this wall. They are really quite far away from us. Come on, Hawks, you gotta have something to shoot. Can't be totally helpless here. Take off the target lock so we can see just how close we are to the edge. Very close, which means he's gonna start, like, swerving around to try and get away. Let us recall. Return to me. Actually, no, I'm gonna order you on a suicide run. But you're already dead. So, there's that. He dumped out a weasel. That was very bad of you. I didn't want you to dump out a weasel. Well, we have almost gotten away. Come on, just a little bit more. Focus on the fighters. Anything you got. Parting phaser barrage. Such that it is. Okay, and we are off the map. Let's get into our ECL in full speed. As best as we can. Everything you've got. Fortunately, they're on the wrong side for us to give everything they've got. Crap. Pull over a bit. The Gatling phasers are still available. Shield reinforcement. Rear tile only. No shields left. We are so close to getting out of here. F5's at long range. This F5 is slag mostly, so it's these two ships. Can they stop us in time, or will we get out of here? That's gotta be a close one. This run really is going to determine if we get out or not. We don't have any more power to throw into engines. Come on, we're almost across the wall. 2 fighter squadrons coming in. This is it. Deploy mine. We have no mines left. Come on. Warp engines. Just inches. No! Haha, no. We died. Did we? Did we get out? Did we die? I think we died. So close, though. So very close. We only lost one of the escorts, so we got out right as we were about to explode. So, losing one of your escorts is a disappointment, but you did manage to get through with your carrier. The Klingons will pay for their treachery this day. This is the best I've ever done this mission. I've never saved the escorts before. Nice! And we will also do the Mighty Hood for today. The Mighty Hood. At the beginning of the Klingon Federation War, the USS Hood was caught by a group of 3 Klingon warships. Although the Hood fought valiantly, she was destroyed by the Klingons before she was even able to get off a distress signal. We can run, we can fight, but I think we're going to run. Because there are 3 Klingon D6s currently staring at us from behind. So, all power to the rear deflectors. And we will dump a mine. The goal is to get out of here, hopefully. Actually, the perfect goal of this mission is to turn around and use a CAR to wipe out 3 D6 cruisers. That's not going to happen, quite frankly. CAR is a nice ship, and we did use it during the channel update, but it's not that good. Not to the point where I would say, oh, I can take on the entire Klingon Empire. So we're going to hit the engines, maximum power. Yeah, going to maximum power here. Zoom the map all the way out. We can't even see the edge of the map. We have no seeking weapons, so it's not like we can spit fire back at them. And we have currently no energy to reinforce the rear shield. So we may not have a choice. I have run from this mission before, but that may not be this time. Luckily, the AI does attempt to avoid mines wherever possible, even when, well, it doesn't really matter if they get hit by the mine or not. I'm going to shut off this photon torpedo, and we've lost our rear shield. That's extra bad. That is very much extra bad. Deploy another mine up the back. We really want to keep them away from that vulnerable aspect. While we build up a speed to sprint on out of here. We're not going to be fighting, so those photon torpedoes offline as well. Pushing up to what is, I think, unfortunately, our maximum speed of 29.5. Not great, especially with those disruptors. Do we have anywhere else we can drag energy from? What are we putting power into? Nothing except the engines and the other. The other, of course, being systems like life support, basic maintenance for lights and everything like that. We can't shut anything else off, which is really bad because they're maintaining a speed of 31. We will deploy our last mine, try and get them to pull off even more. He's really the last guy, isn't he? How far away are we from the map edge? Oh, we're getting close. We're very close here. We have a chance to escape in a much shorter mission than the turkey shoot was. Close the map here. Will the Hood escape in time to warn the Federation and tell them about the Klingon treachery? It looks like it. It definitely is starting to look like it. 3, 2, 1, and we're gone. Nice. Okay, so that's the one version of the mission where you can run away. We're going to try it from the other perspective, and I don't anticipate this one will last very long. We're going to try and fight it out like the captain of the Hood did. So it's a draw, but let's go the Mighty Hood and play it the right way this time. Enemy is back there. We're going to speed up to our speed of, what was it, 12? Yep, 12, and turn on the enemy. Put down 1 point so we can put in a point into ECM. I don't know if the Klingon ships are ready to fight us or not, but we're about to find out. It says we should escape, but the captain of the Hood knows no fear, so we're going to power up the shields as best we can. Phasers are about to come online. That'll give us our first shots into the enemy. And I'm going to take on the side. Phasers, take those off. And now make this turn in order to put the rear phasers on. That was a really great upgrade to the CAR. It added in an additional 2 phaser 1 mounts, sort of on the tail. They only shoot backwards. It's not the 360 degree of later versions like the Command Cruiser, but it is pretty cool. And we have no point defense systems, so there's no way we can shoot down incoming missiles. So we're going to put in a couple of points of power into holding tractor beams in order to hold them off as long as possible. Photon torpedoes are about to come online. We don't have a really great target for them, but we are going to shoot them nonetheless. We managed to hit with 1 of 4. Not tremendous. Phasers still working, taking care of that. He's opened up his shield, and all our phasers are currently on shockdown. And this is one of the most annoying tactics in the game. Where it's just, we're going to beam all kinds of mines on top. And now the Hood is really in trouble, staggering to try and get away. Doesn't even have enough power to charge up the tractor beams. The tractor beams are broken. So we will go to repair the engines, repair the phasers, because the phasers are way more important than photon torpedoes. And 2 more incoming missiles. We're definitely getting low on health here. Oh, but thankfully the mine saved us from the missile strikes. That's, I'm going to go for ironic on that one. We lost power, we're just a sitting wreck at this point. And there she goes. The real version of what happened to the Hood. Sad, but true. And now that we're done with that... no. One more mission, I'm thinking, just to sort of round out the episode on time. We will play The Wrath of Khan. That's right, you can play The Wrath of Khan from Star Trek II, the mission in the Mutara Nebula. We are, of course, going to speed up, and this is the damage that we've taken because of the Wrath of Khan. We are entering the Mutara Nebula. They are reducing speed. There he is, and now we're going to go... This is Admiral Kirk! We tried it once your way, Khan. Are you game for a rematch? Khan, I'm laughing at the superior intellect. Reliant at full impulse, Captain. I'll say this for him, he's consistent. So now, Khan has given chase to the USS Enterprise into the Mutara Nebula. We are able to use the nebula to basically mitigate our problem with the fact that we have no shields. We've got very little support in order to repair this ship, and very few systems left available to us. I'm going to also repair both Type 1 phasers so that we've got the full forwards and this center mount. My favorite thing about this mount is, if you take a look at the arc, it's a 360-degree mount. We're getting 4 phasers back for the price of a single repair part. We are going to keep running away from them for a little while, because we do want these repairs to take hold, and because Federation ships, well, the more they repair, the better they are. There's no point in putting any points into the ECM, because you can have a maximum defense attack shift of 3, which is where we're at this point. Maintaining a speed of 12, and now apparently we are using up every single point of power. Not entirely sure where all that power is going to or coming from. Speeding up a little bit more because we want to have the maneuverability for us. We have a single repair part left, but we are going to save that. And they have reduced speed inside the nebula. This is, as you can see, the proper Miranda class in all her glory. Of course, she has also been damaged thanks to the back and forth battles that we've had. And come on, I really need those Phaser 1s back online. That'll be our major advantage, our superior Phaser 1 armament. We have 2 photon torpedoes. I'm not going to charge up the other ones. They just take too much power. And we're going to hold at 17 speed. 1, it's a good speed, and 2, because that means we will be able to immediately charge photon torpedoes. He's maintaining a speed of 8. As you can see, he's got 4 photon torpedoes, 2, 4, 6, 8 Phaser 1s. Right now we have 9 Phaser 1s and 2 photon torpedoes. So a little bit of an advantage to us, but we do have more damage to us. So that's how this battle is going to shape out. It's going to all depend on who gets luckier, and I suppose a little bit on tactics. He is firing at longer range, which is not really advisable in the Mutara Nebula. If you remember from the movie, well, sensors ain't working so great out here. He's turned into us, and we're going to turn into him. We want to be able to give him everything we've got. I want to close to within a range of 5, even closer if I dare. He's got 4 of his phasers not online yet, so that's where we want to be. I think one of our phasers hit, or photon torpedoes hit. Pulling away a little bit. We did manage to do some damage, knocked out one of his shields. And we're going to fire at long range, weakening his rear shield. There's no point to shield reinforcements in this nebula. They don't work. Shields are just at minimal values. So, I think it's like 5 points. We have 10 phasers to our name now, so we're doing pretty well. 27 points of power. Because we're not charging the other photon torpedoes, that's not so bad. And because we don't have really many other systems we need to charge for this, that'll work out pretty well for us. So, arcing back in. Are the photon torpedoes charging? They are not, so we'll drop 2 points of speed in order to get 2 points of power. And facing into him, another phaser barrage right into him. Pull away, keep the forward shield up as long as we possibly can. Seriously, are these photon torpedoes not powering? What's wrong with you? We are asking for... Ah, that's why. So we were asking for too much power. How about now, photon torpedoes? Do you have enough energy? At what point do you have enough energy? Yeah, that's... At a speed of 10 is where I have enough energy to charge the photon torpedoes. Sort of. The game thinks that we have not quite enough energy, but enough energy, so it's flashing back and forth between the two, but now that the phaser capacitor's back up, it gives us all that free energy we had before. So we want to encourage him to continue to fire at maximum range, where he's completely inaccurate. Phasers dealing reduced damage in conditions like these. So that definitely works in our favor. Lining up on him, and another punch through. He's knocked through us as well. We took it on what remains of our armor, though, so not too much damage. I think we've got better phaser arcs than him, although I could be wrong. And I'm expecting another shot anytime now, because I see that this one is still active. Yep, there it is. So we want to keep off of that side. We've stunned the photon torpedoes and one of our phaser mounts, but it's still intact, and that's the most important thing. If we lose it, then we're in trouble. I want to put more power into the engines because I want to be able to maneuver a little bit better around him. There we go. Now that the phaser capacitor is done charging, got more free power to play with. Gets us up to a speed of 20. Not bad. 28 points of power, and steadily repairing, because we are the Federation and we're really cool at that. We're going to try and get in close to him again, hit him from behind. Really, shots from behind, I think, have a higher chance of damaging the warp coils, which, if you don't have warp coils anymore, well, your warp engine doesn't work so well and you can't operate. I know that's not quite accurate to how real Star Trek is, where the warp coils are here and they affect mostly speed, and it's the warp generator, which is actually like here or something. The engine room is a tiny room. It's not the giant ones you see in the Next Generation. Closing in. Another shot from the photon torpedoes. Only one was available. We really shouldn't be turning off the port. That's our weakened side, isn't it? Yeah, this shield and this shield is down. So we're just going to come in these somewhat slow firing passes. Reducing power again, so that we can continue to charge. I'm half tempted to shut the photon torpedoes off entirely. They're not particularly accurate, quite frankly. And our shield regeneration is doing really well, because the frontal shield, I think, is almost back to full power. 29 points of power to play with, so we're doing much better than we were. Phasers are back online, which gives us our power back. Able to go 21 now, as they constantly repair the ship. Scotty doing wonderful work. Oh, and there's also nice little details. So all these panels have officer names. So if we go to helm, we can see that Sulu's in command. Repair, Scotty's down there. Spock is in the science station. George Tenet is apparently our security officer. Chekhov is weapons. It doesn't show any officer for this panel, but it would be Uhura, our communications officer. Zipping in here, gonna get a nice close-in shot up the rear. And another miss from that photon torpedo. I'm really starting to think there's no point in having it. Pull off again, slowing down to a speed where we can charge these weapons. And yeah, barely able to charge it here. Wait for the phaser capacitor to recharge. I'm not quite sure which one of us is more maneuverable. So the USS Reliant is a NCL. Is it an NCL or an NCC? Let's check. NCM. So it's a new medium cruiser. We are a CC Plus, a command cruiser, which is sort of the best sort of heavy cruiser that was ever built, in my opinion. They're really flexible and fun, and they look gorgeous. That's not quite true that they're the best, but they're the quintessential Federation cruiser. We're up to 30 points of power now. Scotty really doing work. Getting the mains back online as best as he can. Now we're going to swoop in here. Got another photon torpedo ready. Just outside of flashback range, and we do hit again. It's a much slower battle. Much more take your time with it. Plan things out. Make sure that things don't go to hell in a handbasket. Because at any moment, okay, maybe not so much anymore because he has lost a lot of systems, but early on in this fight, he's got pretty much full weapon systems. If he gets a good hit on the Enterprise, you're done. So it's important to sort of stick around to the edges and play him into the nebula where you have your most advantages here. And this background pack is gorgeous. This is a new mod, by the way. Again, blanking on the name of the person who made it. I'll have it in the description, a link to it. But it updates the background package to the space backgrounds to be high definition. And they are just gorgeous. It's one of those little things that really adds to how this game plays. It's not big, but all the little stuff adds up to being big. So, lined up for another run on the Reliant. And we are in his blind spot back here. Closing into a range of under 3. All our phasers into him, and we'll pull away to port. We've taken out all of his rear-firing phasers. This one has a frontal half-arc just like ours. So he's helpless from behind now. We're in a great position, quite frankly. We'll just keep turning in whichever direction he's not. That way we can keep away from these forward-firing photon torpedoes if he's got any power to use them. He might not. He is only chugging along at a speed of 4.5, so his power problems may be huge. Speeding up again, now that we've got the phase capacitor charged again. Constantly hopping between speeds. Wow, we're starting to get pretty quicker. We'll be up to a speed of 23, if we ever make it up to that point. Again, soaring through all of this wonderful ionized radiation. Come on. We want to get a good shot on your rear again, because that's where you're weakest. Lining up with another run. We're going to come from his port rear quarter. If I can get on. Admiral, scanning an energy source on the Reliant. A pattern I've never seen before. It's the Genesis wave. They're on a build-up for detonation. And now we need to reach a maximum distance of 300,000 kilometers to survive the blast. So, all systems to green alert. We're not going to charge up the... We're not going to charge the shields, we're not going to charge weapons, just everything to the engines, and we're maintaining a speed of 28.5. 300,000 kilometers in this game is a distance of 30, so hopefully we'll make that. I don't know how fast the Genesis device is going to explode. We're zipping away at full speed. Unfortunately, at this moment right now, Spock is making his way to the engine room to handle fixing the mains. And hopefully his efforts will allow us to get to warp before we get destroyed. Really, it's not going to matter in this version of it because we're already at a distance of 43. So we're gone. Look at this. That's just beautiful. So zipping away here at full power, hoping to avoid the detonation of the Genesis device. I need warp speed, Mr. Scott. Anytime now. I think it would be cool if they put Khan's little speech from Hell's Heart, I Stab at Thee in the corner, but they're not. I know because I've played this mission quite a few times. Wrath of Khan is, in my opinion, the best Star Trek movie. I absolutely adore it. And, well, the update one for the Kelvinverse, not so much. But still, it's fun to be able to enjoy playing this in era, and there it goes. The Genesis device has activated, and it will now create a brand new planet. Closing session. And 13 minutes, 24 seconds. Victory! The Reliant has been destroyed and the Enterprise managed to escape. The victory came at a heavy price. Mr. Spock was lost while restoring main power and engineering. Well, that does it for this filler episode of Starfleet Command Orion Pirates Plus Mod. Season 2 should begin tomorrow, fingers crossed. So if you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next episode.